509. 11 through 19, 21 through 26. Inner products, what we're going to start with. But a reminder, reviews tomorrow. Test is on Friday. Review for the final. We're only going to spend one day reviewing it because it's on you. You've got a list of what the final consists of. Make sure you've got your notebook ready to go so that you can use it. What? Yes.
Oh, okay. We take a test on Friday. The other class takes a test on Monday.
And then you guys take your final. You start on Tuesday and finish it on Wednesday. They started on Wednesday, finish it on Thursday.
Perfect.
Okay, example of an inner product. First, it could either be two-dimensional or three-dimensional. And an inner product is signified with a dot in between. Oh, let's make that a 7. Otherwise it's kind of boring. Okay, to do an inner product, you multiply the x's, you multiply the y's, you multiply the z's, and then you add them all together. So I'm going to multiply the x's, multiply the y's, multiply the z's since I have z's. So I get 12 plus 15 plus 7. Now what does that add up to be? 34. So there's the first answer. Then the second thing you have to tell me is yes or no whether or not it's perpendicular. If it equals 0, then it will be yes, it's perpendicular. If it ends up anything other than 0, the answer is no, it's not perpendicular. So all you really have to do is say no. So on this one, is that equal to 0?
No.
So you just say no.
So if it's equal to 0, then yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Super simple.
Okay, so -3, 6, and 0, another three-dimensional, and then we'll do another two-dimensional here in just a minute. And 4, 2, and -5. So first, Dalton, what are my x's multiplied?
-12.
And Mason, what are the y's?
It would be 12.
And Delaney S, what are the z's when you multiply them?
0.
When we add that together, we get, so our answer is yes, it is perpendicular.
Yeah.
Is everybody good there? Okay, let's do a two-dimensional. So we only have x's and y's. So Becky, what are our x's? And our y's, Tara?
-60.
And if we add those two together, we get Wyatt?
44 or -44.
So our answer would be no, they aren't perpendicular to each other. Okay, is everybody good on inner products? Everybody need another example?
No.
Okay, now cross products. And everybody got this, so we're ready for the next section, which is 21 through 26. Now, cross product is three-dimensional. And the symbol that's in between is an X. And to do a cross product, remember where we've been writing them as the sum of unit vectors?
Yeah.
That's what's going to be involved. I, J, K. And it doesn't matter which one of these you write first, so the order's not important there. 5, 2, 7, -2, 1, 4. Now what is that? If you guys remember from
Matrix.
And then, in fact, it's a determinant, right? Because it's a square matrix.
Yes.
It's a 3 by 3. Now, how do you evaluate a 3 by 3 matrix?
Copy out the first 2 rows.
Okay, that would, when you do the diagonals, that's not so good this time.
Okay.
Expansion of the minor is the method you want to use because you got to expand it around the I, J, and the K. So we're going to do expansion of the first row. So I times, you cover up the row and the column that the I is in. So that's 2, 7, 1, and 4. Then you go to the next position in that row 1, and it's a J. Cover up the row and the column that it came from. So what's it leave me?
5, 7, -2, 4.
And then you go to the last in that column, which is K. Cover up the row and the column that the K is in, and it leaves me,
Was that a -2 in the J one?
that's a -2, yes. Now, always need to remember to change the sign of the one in the middle. If you remember back when you did this. And we're using that column, so it's keep it, change it, keep it. So change the one in the middle when you use the first row.
Does that mean that we change all of the ones in the box?
All the one in the middle, no, you just change that one on the outside. Now, you're gonna evaluate the 2 by 2s. To evaluate a 2 by 2, remember it's diagonal down, subtract the diagonal up. So that's gonna be 8 minus 7, so that's 1 times I, so it'll be 1I.
What?
8 minus 7. It's
Yeah.
always diagonal down, subtract the diagonal up.
Yeah, but then where does the 1I come from?
8 minus 7 is 1.
Okay.
Now you go to the next one. 5 times 4 is 20, and you're subtracting always, and you're subtracting 2, a -2 times 7 is a -14, so what's that gonna end up being? 34. And you're gonna multiply it by a -j, so it's gonna make it a -34j. Next one. 5 minus a -4, so that ends up being
9K.
9k. So our answer really is 1, -34, and 9. Now, I said check each one of these. What you just found when you do a cross product is you find a perpendicular vector to each one of these. So to check, I shouldn't have to check these today because you can check your own, and I want you to check your own. So here is my check for this. I have 1, -34, and 9. I'm going to do the inner product between 5, 2, and 7. I have 1, -34, and 9. I'm going to do the inner product between -2, 1, and 4. So the 5, 2, 7 was the first one, and the -2, 1, and 4 is the second one. When you do your check, you do the inner product between each of them. They both should end up equaling what, since this is a perpendicular? Should be 0. So if it's not 0, you did something wrong. So that's why I'm saying you don't need me to check. You're going to find out yourself whether you're right or wrong. So here we got another practice of doing the inner product. So if we multiply, 1 times 5 is?
5.
Is it okay if I just write it down, the result? Is everybody okay with that? -34 times 2.
-68.
9 times 7. And what's that add up to be? Looks like 0 to me. Is that right? So that one's right. Hopefully the next one is. So we have a -2 from 1 times a -2. -34 times 1. And 9 times 4 is, and again, we get 0. So what's that tell you? This answer is correct, because it was perpendicular to both of them. Okay, next example. Let's say I've got 1, -3, 4. And I want the cross product of it and 6, 3, 8. So what do we do first?
Put it in the box.
Determine it. I, J, K. 1, -3, 4, 6, 3, and 8. And we use expansion around
The numbers.
the first row, the IJK. Okay, so we're ready for Delaney. It'll be I times what, 2 by 2?
-3, 4, 3, 8.
And next one will be J times What will it be, Zach?
1, 4, 6, and 8.
Then it'll be K times, Becky, what?
2 times 4, negative 3, 6, and 3.
Negative 3, 6, and 3, and we always remember to change the sign of the one in the middle. So, Tara, what will that first one evaluate to be?
12. Negative 12.
Negative 24. I'm not gonna get negative 12. 3 times 8 is 24, negative,
Oh, you're
right?
subtracting. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's 36. Negative 36.
Okay, the next one, what?
8 minus 24.
So that ends up being,
16. Negative 16.
so negative 16 times the negative j would be a
16.
positive 16j. Okay, Taylor, what about the next one?
3 minus negative 18.
So that ends up being 21k. So our answer is negative 36, 16, and 21. And now to do our check. Let's see, we've got a negative 36, 16, and 21, and we want to do the inner product between 1, negative 3, and 4. Same, 36, 16, and 21, we want to do the inner product with the other one, 6, 3, and 8. So, JC, I'm gonna let you do the multiplication in the first one, when you get ready.
Negative 36. Negative 48.
Mhm.
And then negative 4.
And then check, see what that adds up to be.
And you add them together.
So negative 36, negative 48, and 84 adds up to be 0. So we're good so far. Richard, you get the next one. What's negative 36 times 6?
Yeah, 216.
Okay, 16 times 3.
That would be 18 plus 3, that would be 48.
And 21 times 8.
168
And then adding those together,
would be 0.
it looks like 0 to me too. So what's that tell us?
It works.
Our answer is correct. Okay, do you guys have questions on what you're doing? Anybody have questions? So the first group, you're doing inner product. What do you do on the inner product? Multiply the x's, multiply the y's, multiply the z's if you have them, add them together, and then tell me yes or no whether it's perpendicular. So if it equals 0, it's yes. Then on the last group, which is 21 through 26, you're finding the cross product is which you go ijk and then each of them, and then you do expansion of the minor around row 1 to find the result and check your answers. Okay, you can get started. Let me see your first piece.
What did you do yesterday?
Come and I'll show you. Bring your book.